Yes.
Governor, I don't think you can find anybody who's going to disagree with balancing the budget. We have to do it as families, right? But why are so many people freaked out, so concerned about the entitlements, Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, unemployment insurance? They feel that there's going to be a day soon they're going to go out to the mailbox and their Social Security check not to be.
Yeah, so on Florida, we have a few people on Social Security in Florida. They'll do this. This is like some of the people. It's this political rhetoric. They will say Florida is not a donor state. They're a recipient state, and they count Social Security benefits. But my seniors, if they move to Alabama, the check would. It's not like that money's going to the state government. It's just the fact that it's going to people who now live in Florida who've earned those benefits. I feel very confident, certainly with President Trump, that they're going to be honoring the benefits that seniors have. Unfortunately, a lot of seniors live check to check, basically. We do have some wealthy seniors that don't need Social Security, quote unquote, but even a lot of our middle class seniors in this era of inflation, for them not to have Social Security checks, so they may miss a payment. And in Florida, we're now having to go to the voters, most likely in 26, to reform our property taxes, which is done at the local level, not at the state level. But we have elderly who bought a home in South Florida, let's say, for $200,000 30 years ago, and now it's being assessed at $1.5 million. Well, even though we have some protections against property tax, how are they going to come up with more and more money every year? So we're going to rein that in as well. So when you talk about elderly on fixed income, it's a really significant issue. I know the president very much is sympathetic to that. I don't think Social Security is as much of the problem as some of the other, particularly the discretionary, the way some of the medical is done, although we're going to do, of course, Medicare for seniors. And Elon's going to get to this. There is a lot. I mean, when you have hundreds of billions of dollars in improper payments, I mean, that should not be happening. And I don't think it will happen once you have kind of DOGE get in there and do that. Same thing on unemployment insurance. Now, different states handle it differently, as you know. In Florida, we call it reemployment insurance. We're limited on it. We don't view it as a way of life. We view it as temporary. Our economy's been good, so people have ability to get jobs. But if you look at the amount of fraud in unemployment insurance, it's been incredible, especially since COVID. So we volunteered with the DOGE team to kind of get them in our unemployment system. And even though we've worked hard to police it, and I think you'll see much different in Florida compared to like California, where there were tens of billions in fraud, we know that there's issues there. Like, for example, you are not allowed to have any of these benefits if you're in this country illegally. But are they using fake Social Security numbers? I know DOGE thinks that that's a big deal. So you're going to see, I think, some serious overhaul of how the unemployment insurance system is worked. Clearly, there's a role for that, but it's not for people to just dip into abuse. And so finally, we're taking a look at all these things, and I think it's going to be really, really positive. But if you just go back to 2019 levels of just the discretionary budget, forget about Social Security, just the discretionary budget, pre-COVID, when we were still kind of spending a lot of money, if you just kept it there and froze it for 5 years, you would save massive amounts of money right there. And I think what really kills us is that you have amount of spending, and then that's the baseline that never goes below that, no matter how effective or ineffective these programs are. The balanced budget amendment or requirement, that's going to cause them to totally overhaul the way they do budgets. So I really appreciate being here. I want to thank the governor, lieutenant governor, thank the legislators for really leaning in on this. What we don't want is to wake up 10, 15 years from now, us being some major financial crash because of interest rates and the debt and everything, and say, man, we could have done something in the States to avert this, and we chose not to do it. No, we see the problem. We've seen the trend lines. We're not just going to sit back and just hope that Congress changes its behavior. We, the people, have it within our power to make Congress change its behavior. Thank you. All right.